give you a watch market update on a Richard Mille. You know, Richard Mille. Richard Mille is unbelievable. The RM004. Richard Mille watches are dead in water. I don't care what they tell you out there. Richard Mille watches are dead in water, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Mille watches. The AGPG. You know, it's an unbelievable split second. It's an unbelievable watch. Chronograph. It's an incredible watch. And this watch, ladies and gentlemen, to you people out there, that they were telling you that this was the $1 million watch and all that good stuff, I got news for you. You know, I got some sad news for you guys. If you're looking into this watch, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you harder than Frank Mueller. This is what. Let me tell you, man. You guys make fun of Jacob and Company. You guys made fun of Alliance. Alliance Cyberstone was the first one. Alliance Cyberstone. You know, Cyberstein, something to that effect. Then Hublot came out, and if you look at Align, you had those Stephans. You know those Stephans, the Stefan Gloria. You know those people, the Stephans. They had the Align Cyberstone. They were the kings of having that watch. They were colorful, with triangles, boxes and all that. And they were selling those watches like exactly that one right there. They were the first one. If you want to talk about these watches that were made with these materials and funny stuff, I'm going to give you the story right now. Por ser lambones, I'm going to give it to you. Align Cyberstone, unbelievable, colorful, round circles, triangles, boxes, and the hands were weird, yellow, blue, red, white, all that good stuff. And the pushers on the chrono were red, yellow, white, blue, whatever it is. And they were the first ones. And then you had Jacob, Company Jacob. You know who Company Jacob is? They came in Company Jacob. And you had that rapper, that rapper from over there, from New York, the rapper, I forgot his name. Doggy, that guy. And he had it, and everybody had it. And the other one too, ZJ had it too. So we went from Align, we went to Company Jacob, and then we went into, Frank Mueller. And then went to Frank Mueller. You had a bunch of soccer players, using the watch. And then from Frank Mueller, we went to Hublot, and we had a bunch of, basketball players. I mean, they have so many editions on Hublot, it was disgusting. Hublot everywhere. It was Hublot every single where. And then from Hublot, we jumped to Richard Mille. We went to Richard Mille, and I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for that Richard Mille RM004 AGPG split second chronograph, do yourself a favor. Don't pay for that watch more than $213,000 in dropping. Right? I can't be doing dropping right now because it's kind of late, and we don't want to disturb other people around. So we gotta take it easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna talk to you about a watch. This gentleman requested these watch brands, and I'm gonna give it to him because he's waited for them patiently. And it's a Patek Philippe Grand Complications reference number. Look into it. Reference number 6151G. The retrograde perpetual calendar, smoke, sapphire crystal, the Clos de Paris, the Clos de Paris. You know who that is? Clos de Paris. Louis Mercier, all that good stuff, unbelievable, with the decoration, the Clos de Paris decoration, And the retail price of that watch, ladies and gentlemen, is $142,260. $142,260. And I'm gonna tell you, sir, if you're looking into that watch, there's not, exacto, Clos de Paris, papá. Eso es así, Paris nails. So this watch, if you're thinking of buying it because you want it for your collection, sir, And there's no problem. That's a watch that you should buy for your collection. But if you're buying thinking that there is a lot of meat left on the bone on that watch, I got news for you. I got sad news for you. Ese reloj is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse, and you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. This is a grand complications. This is not complication, gran complicaciones, grand complications. And I'm gonna tell you, logo. I'm gonna tell you because you need to know this. Don't pay. You want it with all the bells and whistles. You want it with all the whatever it brings. The box, everything it brings, everything. You want everything in this watch. And I tell you, 142,260 is the retail price. Do yourself a favor and don't pay for that watch more than $148,000. Right? The watch market is dead. The pusher plus the pusher too. You ask for everything. As for everything, I'm gonna be honest, sir. I wouldn't even pay what I told you for that watch. I wouldn't even pay for that. I'm being honest. Listen, let's be honest here, guys. Let's be honest, for real. Let's be honest. Patek makes beautiful watches. They really do. From grand complications just to regular, novices. But the only watches the you Lambones want out there is two of their models. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. No, the Calatrava, the complication, this. I don't care what you say. The annual, perpetual. I don't care what you say. The only two models you want from Patek Philippe, please. You want a Nautilus and you want an Aquanaut. That's it. I don't care. Put there now. I want the complication. You want the complication. Yes. You're gonna go diving. You're gonna go to the beach. That's it. That's all you want, Mr. Donor. You know it. That's all you want. You want two of their watches. El resto que se lo meta en el poto. You know what poto means? You know what poto is? If you don't know what poto is, I'm not gonna tell you. You Google it. I'm not gonna tell you. You Google it. I won't tell you that. So I'm already telling you what it is. Those are the watches you want. Those two models is what you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I have another watch here, and we have a very, very good subscriber to this channel by the name of Damon, and he is a real connoisseur of the watch brand H. Moser. The Endeavor, Perpetual, moon red gold, the moon red gold, cylindrical, tourbillon, skeleton. It was honoring the Cortina watch 50th anniversary. I'm giving you information that's unbelievable. You guys don't know about Cortina. Cortina watch 50th anniversary in the back of the watch. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. This is a monster watch. If Mr. Damon is watching this, my respect to you. This is an unbelievable time machine. And this is unbelievable. The reference number of this watch, just in case you want to look it up, is the 1811-0400. And ladies and gentlemen, wait till you hear this. There is only 10 pieces in the world of this watch. And it was launched out in the year 2022, something to that. And this watch has a retail price of $126,000. $126,000. Deep, $126,000. Tourbillon, tourbillon. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys wanna help me out, I wouldn't pay. Some people say no more than 40 cents to the dollar. The moose is loose. You know it. The moose is loose. I wouldn't pay. I don't want to use cents in this because I don't want to offend nobody, because I'm telling you, you know, with all due respect, guys, for real, this is an unbelievable watch brand. This watch brand is involved in Formula One and all that good stuff. You know, they're there. You know, these people have deep pockets. And I'm gonna say, listen, don't 50% off, right? I would say 50% off that watch. You pay 50%, that's all we got for you. But I'm just gonna I'm gonna be honest and tell you the truth. You know, don't pay for that watch more. And tell me if I'm saying 50%. Tell me if I'm saying 50%, right? Don't don't pay for that watch more than $59,000, right? I don't know what I gave him. If it was 50%, I don't know what I gave him, but don't pay more than $59,000. An unbelievable time machine. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold Oyster Flex Tiffany Blue Dial. Tiffany Blue Dial, reference number 126518 LN, 40 millimeter. You know, Tiffany, the Blue Dial, you know? You know, this watch was 195,000, 160,000, 130,000. And I'm going to tell you, it has a retail price of $37,400. And Mr. Donut, I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch, no matter what they keep on posting up there, you know, among themselves, hyping the watch, dealer to dealer, dealer to dealer. Don't pay for that watch more. I got to be honest, guys. Don't pay for that watch more than $96,000 in dropping. You do whatever you want with your money. I mean, if you still want to keep on believing these people, if you guys are still in the trance, in the Pluto trance, that's up to you. That's up to you. You know what the Pluto trance is? You know, the MK Ultra, you know? Or they reprogram you to be a Meshuggah. You know? Okay, there you go. There you go. So you need to look into it. Thank you very much. Thank you so much from Australia. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Patek Philippe Nautilus Rose Gold 5980. You know, I told you, you know, last week about the Patek Philippe 5980 Rose Gold Chrono. You know, this watch has a retail price of $108,820. It's an unbelievable time machine, and I take pride in the prices that I give you people. You know, I take pride. I take pride. Yes, it does have meat left on that watch model, but it's still dropping. And I told you, you know, last week I told you don't pay for that watch more than, let's say I said, in the $150,000 price range, you know. And some people get, you know, salty and bitter. You know, they get salty and bitter because, you know, we're talking about the secondary gray watch. You know, the secondary gray watch. It has a retail price of $108,820. And I told you last week, don't pay $150. And I'm gonna tell you today because I need to tell you again. You know, to people that are looking for this watch. You know, this is a used slider condition material watch. Don't pay for that watch more. Look how quick this goes. You do whatever you want, sir. You want it with all the bells and whistles. You want it with all the bells and whistles. You know, with that beautiful shellac, you know, wooden box. You want it with everything. Don't pay for that watch more than $145,000. You do whatever you want. All right? Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Nautilus, white gold. You know, it has a factory diamond baguette bezel all around it. It has a leather strap. It's the 5722. 5722, white gold, 40 millimeter, leather strap. Retail price is $128,000. $128,000. You're talking about a watch, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know this, this watch was costing at one moment $400,000. You know, in the gray watch market, you know, $400,000. And I'm going to tell you today, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more. I mean, you do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch more than $158,000, and it is dropping. You do yourself a favor. Be careful with your children's tuition money. La situación está jodida. La situación está jodida, and they're looking for lambones. They're looking for palomos. They're looking for crayon eaters, tomato cans, possum kickers, cow tippers, crumb bums, sandbags. You understand me? You understand me? And they're even looking for, window lickers. That's their favorite. If you are a window licker and you fit that credential, like that watch brand that's looking for, the profile that fits so they can use their watches. That gray watch market is looking for, you window lickers, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, the Walrus Fat Bastard, the Hungry Hippo Mr. Magoo, Big Pun and Heavy D, the two Toddler Body Brothers, the two Jehovah Witness brothers, I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Patek Philippe Nautilus Rose Gold 7118 with a 35.2 millimeter casing, Beautiful looking time machine. White dial, rose gold. Retail price is $64,895. That's right. 64, $64,895 is the retail price. Do yourself a favor and don't pay for that watch more. And I mean this. You do whatever you want. Listen to me. I don't care if your Patek Philippe raise a 15% on the tariff. Watch market is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, the watch market is dead. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say it. Watch market is dead. It's like our country. Our country's in bankruptcy. We have $1.4 trillion on credit card debt, and nobody's going to pay it. Mr. Donuts, anybody going to pay that debt? Nobody's going to pay that debt. Nobody. But you do whatever you want. It's your problem. Don't pay for that 7118 rose gold. 7118, don't pay more than $77,000. Don't pay it. Papi, $1.4 trillion, Papi. People are upside down. People don't even have money to buy eggs no more, man. That's all you need to do. Say no to the watch. Say no to the watch, Papi. They're bitter. Let me tell you something. This is a very small, a small group. We are a small group. 5 billion people on Earth. Don't think that, what we have out there, not everybody's a fan of watches. It's very small. In your head, you might think it's the whole world, but it's not. It's just us lambones that like the watches. The rest have other interests. There's other interests out there. I don't know if you guys are, Exactly. Look into small independent companies too, watch companies. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a watch here that even I get surprised. And you should listen to this one. Because this is the watch that Rolex wanted to join the Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin, Patek Philippe. They wanted to go in there. Rolex wanted to go in there. This is the Rolex Land Dweller. The Rolex stainless steel Land Dweller with a 36 millimeter casing, not the 40, the 36. And it has the turkey mesh dial, turkey that comes in a little mesh, turkey, mesh, dial. I call it that, the white one, 36 millimeter. Reference number of that watch is the 127234 and has a retail price of $14,450. I'm going to ask you, all of you right now, a question. How much do you think I'm gonna tell you not to pay for that watch? I already gave you the retail price, you know, because I'm stupid like that. But how much am I gonna tell you not to pay for that watch? And that watch has been dropping from 45, you know, 42, 39. You understand me? What price am I gonna give you? Don't be afraid. That's how much you know about what's going on out there. That's how much you know. Okay, since I gotta get going, I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna give you the price, and I'm amazed with this price. Okay, Jose Mercado basically hit it in the head. You know, Jose Mercado, he hit it in the head. Basically, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $27,000, $300. You do whatever you want, Papi. Papi. What I bring you is unbelievable. I said, look at that. You're hearing me. Hear me out now, Mr. Donut. Hear me out. I know what I'm telling you. You guys do whatever you. This is why I am hated. You know, I'm hated because I bring the truth. I carry the truth with me. No lie. I got real big watch collectors that watch this show and then call me up to find out a number. And I got a surprise for all of you. Para todos ustedes lambones. And the prices, those big shots, go back to that Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market dealer. They give it to him. Just to let you know. 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 I know you don't want to hear that, but I can say it. Someday they'll put it up there. They'll write it for you. Someday they're going to get mad. Yes, he's the man. Boom, and that's it. That's it. Bobby, these people are making on those watches $30, $40, $20,000, $10,000. They got used to you guys giving your children's tuition money away. And then you gave them away your 401k. And now you started picking on your wife's 401k como un lambón. Get the frog out of here. I said frog. I don't want a lightning in my tower. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex White Gold Yachtmaster. Rolex White Gold Yachtmaster. 42 millimeter. You know, Oyster Flex. White gold. Black dial, black ceramic bezel. This watch has a retail price of $35,000. $35,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the retail price, I said it was $35,000. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm stupid like that, you want it with all the bells and whistles, and don't pay for that watch more than $23,500 and dropping. You do whatever you want, Papa. You do whatever you want. You know, they told me already that I cannot continue giving you knowledge because this is for free. I don't charge you for no membership. I don't charge you for nothing here. I charge you for thumbs up, and I don't even get that. I don't even get a thumbs up. You know? Pero está bien. Eso es así. And ladies and gentlemen, one watch that all of you are requesting me, and I'm going to tell you the truth, and you do whatever you want, because you guys all want this watch. You guys all want it, you know? Ustedes son fanáticos. You guys are fanatics. You guys are fanatics. We're talking about the Rolex, GMT, stainless steel, oyster bracelet, you know, with the grayish, blackish ceramic bezel and the black dial. You know, Bruce Wayne, that watch that all of you want, you know? It's an unbelievable watch. Reference number 126710 GRNR. And ladies and gentlemen, they've been parading it out there for $21,000, $20,000, $19,500, and you have to come and see me. You have to come and see me so you can cut the clip and send it out. There's so many, you know, clips of my videos out there with the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market that they're disgusted. You know, they're disgusted. There's so many clips out there all over the place. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a retail price, let's say, of $11,400. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that watch more than $17,000 $200 and it is dropping. You do whatever you want, Poppy. You do whatever you want. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this Watch Market Update show and you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Don't forget. Don't forget to do that. That's the least you can do for this channel, right? Don't forget that. I'm happy that you guys were all here today watching the show. You kept me company, and that's wonderful. And you guys still, you're still supporting the channel that way. By being here, you're supporting the channel, and I really deeply appreciate that, right? Well, guys, like we say every week, take care and brush your hair. Thank you, guys. Be well. Ciao.